So, we were just talking about your youth. I saw the year my voice broke. And how old were you in that movie?
I was 16, I think, 17 perhaps.
And you won an award that
Yeah,
year,
I got
supporting actor.
yes, that's correct at the AFIs, which is the Australian Film Institute Awards. Um, yeah, that was the start of, I guess, my film career. I'd done some television beforehand, and did plenty more after the year my voice broke too. But that was the start of me being visible in film.
So you did play a lot of troubled youth, but you also played leading man roles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the degree of different kind of characters, if you like, that are available to younger actors they tend to be fairly static. You know, the troubled leading man, nerd, and it's hard to think of another sort of one, or bad, I guess, baddie, which is sort of a subset of troubled. But I did my first lead in a film called The Big Steal, which is having I think it's its 25th
Wow.
anniversary, and I've actually been doing a bit of press and stuff for Australia with that, and that was a very beloved film. So yeah, I worked quite a bit around that stage.
So you were, but not. It took a while though for the Hollywood thing to happen, and the infiltration that has occurred because of Animal Kingdom
Yeah.
breaking out in that is on the indie side, really.
Oh, very much. Look, absolutely, and there's no doubt that were it not for Animal Kingdom, it's almost impossible to see just about anything else following from that that I've been in. It's very, very hard to see any of it happening. There's an outside chance, I guess, of killing them softly, because Andrew and I go back. Andrew Dominic, the director, and I go back a very, very long way.
You and Scoot McNairy. Oh my God.
Wow, Scoot.
That was hilarious.
What a guy. What a guy.
The two of you together, though, that was something. Can you describe what that was?
I think, without wanting to sort of sound silly about it, we just got together really. We were sort of well down the pecking order of the cast, so, which basically meant we had to be around the longest, just sort of, in New Orleans. So we spent a lot of time together, and we ended up getting a place there. We shared a place there together, because we were both in hotel rooms and, sort of getting sort of lonely and just stuff, and we were like, why don't we get a place together? And so we did. So we had a relationship, which is why.
Because you almost had I don't want to use the wrong word, a shtick going.
Yeah,
there was some
we
back
were
and forth.
Yeah, we were pretty. Yeah. Well, we were very, very comfortable with each other, because we'd spent a lot of time with each other. I often think that the best the point when things are going really well in your relationship with another actor is when you have got to the point where you actually annoy each other. You've gone past all that, and then you've got the bits of each other that you sort of go about. Because at that point, you know someone. At the point at which you get that familiar that there's certain things each other do that are like, that's when the work is sort of like, oh, we've done this. And we did.
I think you guys stole that movie away. I think you did. And then Cianfrance. Talk about him working with Derek Cianfrance. That's kind of good work too.
That's the most magical.
Because you sort of created that character, right?
Well, I think it would be wrong of me to claim credit on that one. That's really Derek's. This is an example of Derek's incredible on the feet thinking, and bravery, and really, a guy that really searches for what's working here and what's not. I mean, Derek is incredibly alive to his his material, and the character was written as sort of like an Aryan Brotherhood sort of type of ex-prison kind of type, and we all got there, and it just wasn't feeling, just wasn't really happening in that way. And Derek sort of flipped it completely on its head. He's like, I don't like what I've written, and I don't like this, and I just think, what about if you're just some guy that, you're just a mechanic out in the sort of the backwoods, you've done a bit of time, whatever, but what about if you just see this guy out and about writing, and you like him, what about that idea? Would you be all right with that? And I was like, yeah. And he said, well, maybe you love him. Would they be all right with that? I went, yeah, come on, let's, So that energy in that film was just really alive because of that. I also had met my my wife not long before it. It was a really, really beautiful time and fun. And I think that comes across in it. There's a real liveliness and a great, there's great pleasure in those scenes.
Well, I imagine that for you, as experienced as you are, being a collaborator with a director is better than being someone who's being told what to do.
Yeah, although I don't have a problem with being told what to do either. I think that it's kind of gets to be horses for courses. But it really was one of those times, and it's really Ryan too. It's the way Ryan Gosling works as well, and they are great together. I mean, those guys are really, really strong together. They have a lot of overlapping sensibilities, and they come from, although they personally come from incredibly different kind of places, they artistically overlap in a lot of what they're interested in, a lot of what they're down for. So it just felt like you were being invited to a really cool, to go out and play poker with a really good bunch of people. And I just felt very lucky. I felt very happy to be there. I was enjoying playing. It was great fun.
So what was it like to be on Bloodline? To be the star, to be the center, to be the Emmy nominated, all the way down the line. I mean, it must have been fun. It's a great character.
Yeah.
I love
Danny's.
that series.
I mean, Danny's Danny's a real. I mean, just what a gift. Yeah, what a gift. It's probably the best character gift, if you like, that I've been thus far given.
Did it tap into something in your own life that you could totally relate to?
Oh, yeah, but it would be wrong to sort of, I think, overstate that side of things, because you're always tapping into something. I mean, that's sort of modern acting, is finding that bit and this and that. I mean, there was some frisson and sort of difficulty in the family that I come from, but that's pretty universal, And I mean, then you're talking about levels of degrees and this and that, and I think that everyone that lives, has, it is what it is to them.
He moves around so fluidly from moment to moment, from a place where he's going to go forward and grow and change to a place where he's pulled back to the forces that are driving him, and you're as an audience member, you're following him very closely and rooting for him to succeed, and then sometimes you're rooting for him to be bad. It's a fascinating thing.
Look, the credit to that is really the creators, the Kessler brothers and Daniel Zellman, Glenn Todd and Daniel. They are such good writers, and they have the really unusual gift of being able to marry a depth and consistency of characters, multiple characters, and work their plot points and their twists are great. They are. I mean, I don't know how people can do that. Because that ultimately that's what's I think so much fun about Bloodline is it's a sort of a Trojan horse in a way. It comes out looking like a family psychological kind of drama, and it morphs into a thriller, and I think that's a real achievement. And because of the depth of the involvement that you're able to get with those characters, and because it's a family, I think it's very powerful. Certainly for look, I know that because there are people that I've known for a very long time that contacted me after having seen Bloodline and said that's my family, and I started to talk about it, and they said, no, this is what happened in my family. That really, yes, I get. And that's always special, I mean, you don't set out to, I think it's very ill-advised to set out to be profound in some way, you just want to do something that's entertaining and fun for people and immersive, but if that happens, if you get to be a part of something that means something to people, that's pretty good. You can't ask for more than that.
So does Danny come back in some form in the next season?
I'm doing. Yeah, we are in the midst of that at the moment.